We're starting it off with the Galaxy Buds 4 Pro. They will be out in January or February 2026 alongside the launch of the Galaxy S26 phones. And as you can see, they've retained the stem look akin to last year's generation of the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro and also AirPods. But there is some subtle changes, a more rounded tip at the bottom of the stem, and no longer LED strip. That is gone now. So if you like that LED strip, looks like that will be removed. The driver earbud chassis has been updated to be smoother, rounded lines moving away from the sharper edges, more of a traditional Galaxy Buds look to it. The leak also covers pinch gestures, because this was leaked out through the app on, I think it was One UI 8.5, it shows all this stuff. The leak covers pinch gestures for play, pause, and volume. And then you've also got head gesture support reportedly coming, and that would so you would nod to answer your call or shake to decline. These head gestures may allow custom actions, such as allowing you to read your notifications aloud or to dismiss notifications such as alarms and calendar alerts and things like that. So some new things in there in terms of the gestures. I think that's pretty cool to be able to go like this, or yeah, to answer something, or whatever you're going to do with your head. That's kind of neat, especially if you want to be completely hands-free. The design, I know some people dislike it a lot, but it's not terrible. It's easy to grab onto and take it out of your ear instead of trying to pull the whole earbud out. It probably also allows them to get more battery life into these buds, which is probably what most people would want anyway. And obviously, we don't know exact price, but you're probably guessing at least $200. Maybe like $230, maybe $250, probably somewhere in that range though. Now, Galaxy S26 series, you might be wondering, well, how much RAM are they going to put in this beast of a phone? It looks like Ice Universe has kind of told us. He went on a little bit of a rant talking about how, Samsung isn't putting 16 gigs of RAM in their phones. And I would love it too. I wish they would do it, but it looks like they're not going to do it. S26, S26 Plus will have 12 gigs of RAM on both phones, 256 and 512 storage on those phones, nothing more, nothing less. And on the S26 Ultra, 12 gigs of RAM across the board if you get 256, 512, or 1 terabyte. But some locations will, again this year, if you get the 1 terabyte version, you get 16 gigs of RAM. So it depends where you live. He's saying that it sounds like Europe probably won't get the 16 gig RAM version. America got it last year. I assume they'll get it again this year. China also gets that version. So some places will get just 12 gigabytes of RAM no matter which phone you get, no matter which storage. But some locations on the Ultra, if you get the 1 terabyte, you'll get 16 gigs of RAM. My phone is really quick. I know he had another tweet that said like, hey, I can tell the difference between 12 and 16. My S25 Ultra is super fast. I don't notice any difference with it. Obviously, the more specs and stuff you add into it, it does become faster for sure. It's inevitable, but it's already really fast. Would it be great for the future? Yes, it definitely would. It'd be better for AI performance, especially as some of that stuff comes directly on the device. Yes, it would help it for sure. But as of right now, you're good. And most phones are just, like iPhones are just getting 12 gigs of RAM, and they've been great. So I don't know. This obviously won't age, 5-6 years from now, it probably will feel sluggish, I would assume, or start to feel really sluggish. Maybe it won't, but otherwise it's definitely it's weird, because he also mentions in his little tweet, Samsung does make RAM, and it's weird that they couldn't give themselves like a really good price to be like, hey, there's 16 gigs of RAM for the Ultra, to really further the Ultra away from the Plus and the regular version. But to keep the RAM amounts the same on all three devices, it does feel a little bit of a disappointment. So let's jump into a deal real quick with the Galaxy Z Fold 7. You can get it for as low as $15.99 with absolutely no trade-in. Or if you do have a trade-in, you can get up to $1,000 off to drop that price down to $999. And I love my Galaxy Z Fold 7. I personally liked it better than the Pixel Fold again this year. And it's just, for me, it is the best folding phone to get. It's thin, it's light, it's powerful, it's got great cameras. It's a really, really great device. available right now, guys. And let me see if there's any other deals. I don't think they're giving like 20-30% off accessories, for up to 40% actually if you get a Galaxy ring. So check it out, link down below. It supports what I do if you love these videos. Next up is about the iPhone Fold. It looks like, reportedly, Apple has finalized the design of the OLED display for its upcoming foldable iPhone, and the device is expected to feature a main 7.74-inch main display, and on the outer cover display, you're looking at 5.49 inches. And Samsung is going to be the display maker for the display panels on this, which is interesting. And obviously, I always think about this before we even get deeper into these specs. I always think, like, does Samsung, like, they must take this information that they have and be like, okay, how does this compare against our upcoming phone? They have to. I mean, maybe they can't, or maybe the left hand can't talk to the right hand, meaning like the display part of Samsung can't speak to the people that actually make their foldable designs, but you would think word would leak out about it. So it's kind of interesting to me. But yeah, those displays are looking like they're locked in, which the 7.74 inch is smaller than the 8 inches that we get on the Z Fold 7, as is that outer display at 5.49 inches. Foxconn has reportedly completed the required equipment setup for the assembly line of this foldable device, which makes it sound like it's right around the corner. We've heard 2026, we've also heard 2027. Two major production hurdles remain: a hinge design, which would be their liquid metal hinge that meets durability standards, and battery solution with finalized supplier and capacity. So the hinge production cost has been reportedly at $70 to $80 per unit, and Apple is withholding mass production approval until the hinge meets durability and safety expectations. So they don't have their hinge officially figured out, reportedly. Regarding the battery, Apple has tested a 5400 milliamp and a 5800 milliamp, but has not decided on yet a finalized supplier for this, and is being cautious given the increased stress foldables place on internal components. So that's kind of what we know so far about it, the iPhone Fold. The display and the design of it is supposed to be more akin to what the original Pixel Fold looked like, where it was like that passport design, which is kind of short and fat. And then also with the battery, those are bigger batteries than anything that is in, if I'm not mistaken, the Pixel Fold. I can't remember how, but I think that's 5,000 milliamps, if I'm not mistaken, or 52. Maybe that's 54. It's definitely bigger than the Galaxy Z Fold 7, and it's bigger than a lot of other manufacturers that make folding phones as well. So this would be one of the biggest batteries, which would probably make it the best battery life, you would think, on a foldable design. But by then, maybe the time they release it, maybe Pixel and Google will have already matched and beat that phone at that point. I also wonder, when are they going to put this damn thing out? We've heard 26, we've heard 27, but I mean, when are they going to release it? And then the other thing that you're really going to worry about is, we know folding phones are a little bit more fragile than the regular traditional slab phone. If Apple has any kind of issues with people breaking these, obviously not on purpose, but like just they break when they fall, or the screen cracks easier, or the screen malfunctions, like it could be, for especially Apple, it could be pretty bad, because they have a very loyal fan base, and if the fans look at this as like, oh, it's not reliable, even though these phones are amazing, I love these foldable phones, it still makes you wonder, like, what are they going to do? Today's story is all about Samsung's Galaxy glasses. Now, I have the Ray-Ban Meta glasses on, and these are smart glasses. They have Meta built into them. They have cameras, they have speakers, so I can take phone calls, listen to music, audiobooks, stuff like that, ask AI questions. And Samsung has actually showed off their glasses in the recent past, and they even said they were going to come out in 2025. And I've done some videos on it talking about these glasses and my prediction of them not coming out in 2025. And it looks like they're not going to come out in 2025. It's just so late in the game that they have very small amount of time for announcing them and getting them out so people would actually buy them for the holiday season. Well, the latest story coming out is that the Galaxy glasses with a model number of SM0200P, indicating the O series distinct from the I series used by Samsung headsets. These are glasses rather than a full headset, lighter, obviously, just like these. and they're going to feature transition lenses, meaning that they're going to be clear lenses, but when you go out in the sun, they'll turn into like a shaded sunglass. Not a full sunglass, but more of a kind of shaded sunglass. They are having an integrated camera just like these, so you'll be able to take photos and videos and ask AI questions on it. They'll come with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, no cellular network. You can't use these independent. They have to connect to a smartphone. So when you want to use these glasses, the Galaxy glasses, that you're going to have them connected to your phone to get the full functionality. I know with these, I can use them somewhat independent on my phone. I can take like photos and videos, but I can't ask it questions. I can't listen to audio or anything like that. They're positioned as a fundamental different product versus the Galaxy XR headset, which is obvious. Target launch on this is early 2026, though no firm release date has been announced. Currently confirmed, at least one version is destined to come to the US and other region availability, such as Europe, but it's completely not certain on there. So we're kind of looking at a device that is going to be a competitor with this. It doesn't mention in the article at all, or the leak, that these are going to be the ones with the display in them. It's just so weird for me. They announced the ones with the display, they showed them off. Google did a whole 10, 20, 30 minutes on it, showing them off, and nothing. Like, just silence. And this article is sounding like it's just going to be glasses like this without the display. And that's kind of where we're sitting at right now. Where the hell is everything? That's my question, really. Quick Share and AirDrop have never been compatible with each other officially. That is all over officially today. They are compatible with each other. And here's the tweet. This is directly from Google/Android. Sharing moments shouldn't depend on the phone that you have. Starting today with the Pixel 10 family, Quick Share now works with AirDrop, making secure file transfers between Android phones and iPhones more seamless. This builds on our commitment to cross-OS compatibility to bridge the gap between ecosystems. We built this feature with security top of mind from day one. This is huge, guys, and they even show a video of it going back and forth between the two phones sharing files. I use AirDrop all the time. One of the main reasons I just recently switched back to a PC, not the main reason, it's one of the reasons, I wouldn't say main reason, but one of the reasons I switched back was I am able to easily record something on my phone and then quick share it back to my Windows PC. Now, this is built into the phones, and you can do it with AirDrop. This is awesome. Because now if your friends have something on AirDrop and they want to quickly send it to you without having to send it through a server or through text messages, want to share it to you locally, they can do this now directly to you when you're nearby with them. And you can do the same with them as well. This is a shot out of nowhere and a complete win for everyone involved. This is great. The one thing, what I really, really love about Google/Android is that everything is everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's Quick Share. Quick Share is on Windows, Quick Share is on your phone, and it's on your tablet. And then you look at all the Google products, you can use them anywhere on any product. It doesn't matter. This just goes along with this. Is awesome. I love this. You don't have to jump through hoops or anything like that. Huge win for Android and Google, and honestly, AirDrop people as well. So welcome to the club. Hopefully, and obviously this will roll out to other phones. It's just a matter of time, but I love this. This is really, really cool. Now, don't get mad at the messenger on this. There's been rumors that the Galaxy S26 Ultra would have 3,000 nits of brightness and have the newest display, and some of that is true, some of that is incorrect. The latest information is today. This is from Ice Universe. He said, let's talk about the display. From what I've heard, the Galaxy S26 series still caps out at 2,600 nits of peak brightness, including the S26 Ultra. This is not a good sign. Display brightness has stayed unchanged for several generations that Samsung has started cutting corners on the screen, knowing TMRO, he's going into a rant here. He would sacrifice anything for the profit. He's ruthless. While sticking to 2600 nits doesn't necessarily mean Samsung abandoned the new M14 material, because that's what it's reportedly using is the M14 display. It does mean the S26 series won't deliver any significant improvements in display quality, so everyone be mentally prepared. There's also rumors that it's not going to be a 10-bit display, it's going to be 8-bit like it's been in the past as well. And it's not good news. It's not terrible news, but it's not good news. But the silver lining on this, honestly, is I look at my Galaxy S25 Ultra display and I love it. I like it better than the iPhone displays. I like it better than the Pixel displays. I love the brightness. Is 400 nits going to make that big of a difference? No, it's really not. It's cool to think, and it's a good marketing point, and I love saying it to be positive. It's not going to make a huge difference. And I'm not just saying this I'm playing the devil's advocate here, because it's really not. And then, let's be honest, if it goes from an 8-bit to a 10-bit display, were you honestly going to see a difference? Personally, if I showed you both displays, maybe, but would you, a normal person's probably not going to notice the difference. I probably would barely notice the difference. If someone showed me their phone and then pulled it away and they put the same phone there, a different phone, but it looked the same home screen, would I be like, oh man, what happened to your display? It changed all of a sudden. Probably not. Maybe when you see it side by side, otherwise you're not gonna. It's cool that we even get these technologies. And it's good as a marketing point, and it's good as a thing to get excited about. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. But at the end of the day, let's be honest. It's not going to make that big of a difference. It's still amazing display. It's still freaking super bright. Still a super awesome phone. Let's be honest. So if you have the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1 glasses especially, you probably maybe have received version 20.0 of the software just yet. I got it yesterday. It's been out for at least 9 days. And what did it bring with it? Did it bring anything big? Because 20.0 is a monumental number. And they've put in some great stuff out, like on iterations like 19.1, 19.2. They've had features. But what about 20.0? It's got to be an absolute massive update, right? Well, here it is. It says, here's what's been improved for Glasses Gen 1 version 20.0. Improvements, bug fixes, and performance improvements. And I looked through the app. I didn't see anything. And again, it doesn't say in the improvements that it added any features. When it does add a feature, it generally does say it. But I checked, I didn't see anything. And then I headed over to Reddit, and I'm like, maybe I missed it, or maybe it's hidden somewhere and people are talking about it. They didn't say it either. They said, doesn't look like anything. Some people said, which I didn't notice before, 5-minute updates is now missing, which I don't remember if I ever seen that before. Maybe it was there with version 1 before, but it's definitely not there now when you go in there, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And then they also said battery life to them has gotten worse. I haven't noticed that, and that was only one person that said that, but that's kind of weird. 20.0 being a monumental update number. So when I go in here and I look, and I'm gonna look in general, don't see anything. When I look in Meta AI, I don't see anything new. All of this looks exactly the same voices, languages, looks the same. When we go to cellular updates, won't be anything new, right? Communication, there's no new communication apps at all in here. None of that stuff is new. App connections, no new app connections, it looks like. At least on this update. I mean, I don't remember, maybe Calm was new to that. I don't remember Calm being in there before, but I don't think that's one of the new updates in 20. Then you go to media, we go to video settings. Still don't have 1080p 60, which is supposed to be coming here. You got 15 seconds to 3-minute videos. You've got the stabilization. You can set auto, low, medium, or high. Capture enhancements. Enhancements are applied during import, and images to these settings will only affect new captures. Existing media won't be affected. So you can do different things there. Audio, same stuff. Early access, same stuff. So, when you look at this, it doesn't look all that new. Customized controls, nope. One thing that you might be interested in is Not Glasses privacy. I don't think that one's going to be new. It's going to be the device lock. Device lock might be something you want to do new. And I'll probably do a separate video on all these newer things they've added in since like 19 or whatever. You can have your glasses lock until your phone unlocks. It's kind of a cool feature. Find device, so you can find your device on a map, so you can see where it is. You can't buzz it or anything like that, but you can see it. So that could help. Did I leave it back at a restaurant? Did I do it here or there? So it'll let you know that. I like that feature. It's very, very helpful. Detailed responses, again, not terribly new, but something in there. I have that enabled, and that allows you to get more detailed responses. You'll hear more about objects, signage, and people, get more useful information, get more details about the environment, and responses may include inaccuracies, of course. But other than that, yeah, unfortunately, it's not a big update. It's so weird. For me, I think they should have just put it at like, whatever, 19.4, 19.5 or something like that, not 20.0. 20.0 should be a huge update. Expect things to be really different, or not really different, just something, a new feature or something, and it doesn't look like anything's in there. So don't be concerned if you felt like you were missing on something. It doesn't look like anything really got added. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. We'll see you down the road. Peace.